हम अक्सर शहरों में एआई की बातें करते हैं, पर सवाल ये है, ग्रामीण भारत की महिलाओं के लिए एआई का मतलब क्या है? एआई सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं, एक अवसर है। बेहतर फैसले, मजबूत कारोबार और नई पहुंच, डिजाइन, कहानी और बाजार तक। और इसी मकसद के साथ टाटा ग्रुप एआई को इंक्लूसिव और एक्सेसिबल बनाने की दिशा में एक बड़ा कदम उठा रहा है। टाटा ग्रुप ला रहा है टाटा एआई सखी इमर्शन प्रोग्राम, ग्रामीण महिलाओं के लिए एआई लिटरेसी को इंडिया स्केल पर ले जाने की कोशिश।
ஓகே, எங்கள் பிஸ்னஸ்க்கு நானே நீ டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நோ அதர் அவுட் சோர்ஸில் தான் நான் க்ரியேட் பண்ண தேவையில்லை. எனக்கு இது தேவை, எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் வந்து இஷ்யூ வரும், நான் இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஆர்டர்ஸ் இப்படி எடுக்கலாம், பில்ஸ் இப்படி டேலி பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி நானே க்ரியேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஒரு ஆப் க்ரியேட் பண்ணுறதுக்கே 1 இயர் அப் டு ஆகும். அந்த மாதிரிலாம் சொல்லப்போ 1 ஹவரில் எப்படி வந்து ஆப் க்ரியேட் பண்ண முடியும் ஈஸியாக அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு ஒரு சிம்பிளிஃபை பண்ணி நிறைய டீச் பண்ணாங்க. அதை வச்சு அந்த ஹிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நாங்கள் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ஒரு டாபிக் சூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமை நாங்களும் எப்படி சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் கற்றுக்கிட்டு
Welcome, you're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is our latest offering, What's Hot? A show that focuses on the biggest buzz on the D Street. And today, the viewers, we are going to be focusing on a lot of key aspects that you must definitely take and definitely understanding of as well. On your screens, breaking news first. Fractal Analytics has got listed at 876 rupees per share. That's what the listing is coming at. Remember, this is a discounted listing to what we have been seeing as the IPO. The price band was 857 to 900 rupees per share and with a minimum lot size of 16 shares. Already the grey market premium was indicating a softer start, but it was indicating about a 1.5% loss. But it's actually a weaker than expected start for Fractal Analytics. It's got its debut at 876 rupees. Issue price was 900 rupees as well. Remember, this is despite the fact that the IPO got fully subscribed, in fact oversubscribed by 2.66 times as well. Most of the key risks that most of the analysts have been pointing out and perhaps have been the reason behind this softer listing is the high client concentration, the heavy reliance on the US market, the past profitability, volatility, the regulatory developments in AI, cybersecurity concerns, and the Alpha division reported losses in FY25 as well. They've also seen talent retention pressures, execution risks related to scaling product platforms. That have been probably the key reasons why analysts believe this could impact the future performance as well. The issue had got listed, the stock has got listed 24 rupees below its issue price. That's something that we are going to be, of course, speaking to our guests about and detailing for you. What should you be doing in case you applied and you had this IPO in your portfolio, or those that are looking at the listed space as well. Apart from this, we are also going to be focusing on, of course, the RBI tightening the norms for governing bank lending to capital market intermediaries starting April 1st of 2026, requiring all such credit facilities to be fully backed by eligible collateral and subject to strict monitoring. This information by the RBI has led to the capital market stocks fall up to 10% in trade today. Stocks like Angel One, Groww have all been impacted. So we are going to be focusing on understanding what should be the focus after this norm, what exactly is the impact that the RBI regulations will have on these capital markets and how to move forward with this. Of course, we will also be focusing on many other stocks that have come out with the earnings, and we're going to be focusing on that as well. We have a lot of healthcare related stocks in focus: Lupin, Torrent Pharma, Fortis Healthcare. We have Ola Electric, some of the retail favorite stocks like Ola, IRB Infra, they're all in focus as well. And that's something that we will focus on. And lastly, we're going to be focusing on the biggest buzz across India and the world right now. It's the Impact AI Summit starting today in New Delhi for the next 5 days, and we will see the top global voices on AI descend in New Delhi for this 5 power packed days, and we are going to be seeing a lot more conversation on AI and the future going forward. So these are the broad themes that we will focus on today. Let me welcome our guest on board, Mr. Arun Kejriwal, market expert, with us on the program. Warm welcome to you, Arunji. Good to have you with us. We're looking at the market slightly higher at around 25,500 odd levels. Let's take a broad comment on the markets before we dive into our key broad aspects today.
Good morning, Sakshi. I believe today the market is extremely choppy and volatile, and we seem to do 50-60 points on the Nifty in a jiffy. It's up and down. It doesn't give you comfort, this kind of movement. And the two listings that have happened add to your worries. One was Fractal. It did open marginally lower, about 3%, but it has slipped to about 4.5%. The second was iFinance, which somehow managed to hold on to its listing price. The listing price was the same as the issue price, but it has now slipped about 2.5%. All of this doesn't augur too well for a new week, Monday morning. I believe we are in for choppy and volatile times. One last comment. Friday the 13th once again spooked our markets last Friday, and we had a sharp sell-off that we witnessed, not only in the markets but even by FIIs who have been buyers in February, but I don't know why they chose Friday the 13th to sell off.
Absolutely. So those are the key concerns, but let's also focus on the new debut stocks. We've already marked out for you Fractal Analytics viewers, where we have seen a discounted listing of 3%. We are also seeing now Quality Walls shares list at a 26% discount after HUL demerger. Now remember viewers, we are seeing this much anticipated debut listing at 29.8 rupees on the NSE. This marks about a 25-26% discount over the discovery price of 40.2 rupees a piece, and with a market capitalization of 7,000 crore rupees. This comes after the ice cream business, Quality Walls business, has been demerged from its FMCG major, Hindustan Unilever, as well, and that's what you are seeing at this point in time. It's an important one that you should definitely be looking at too. Remember, the stock exchange had conducted a special pre-open session for HUL in December 5 of 2025 ahead of FMCG's company's major demerger plan of its ice cream business into Quality Walls India. And as part of the index adjustments, the demerged entity was briefly added to the 35 Nifty indices at a zero price with a dummy symbol of dummy HDLVR. And now we are finally seeing that Quality Walls has got separately listed too. Let me quickly take a view from Mr. Arun Kejriwal on both these stocks, a debut IPO stock and the debut of Quality Walls as a demerged business on the stock markets. First, on Quality Walls, Mr. Kejriwal, how are you looking at the separate business there? The intention of HUL to demerge its ice cream business completely. How should one be looking at HUL vis-a-vis the ice cream focused company now?
So Sakshi, it's a very interesting question you've asked. There are two ways to look at levers at Hindustan Unilever. The first is to look at it as a company which has all its units doing well, but for the ice cream business. So they decided to knock it off, demerge it, make it into a separate entity. The second, the fact that markets were never quite happy with this business that the company was into, and the fact that the market price has been hammered on the very first day shows that the market perception was correct. And if I were to ask you, when was the last time you had an ice cream, and particularly a quality Walls ice cream? Memory doesn't, hold me that I remember having bought a quality Walls ice cream. It's not on the top of your top of your mind that you go and buy a quality Walls ice cream. So I think the listing has happened, but this is not a stock which is going to give you money in any near term whatsoever.
Okay, and let's also discuss now Fractal Analytics then. Fractal Analytics also has seen a discounted open. A lot of anticipation was around this AI-focused company, and therefore finally an opportunity for investors to look at, an AI-specific theme. We have very few, direct AI plays in India. Right now we are only playing it through the major tech plays, but the discounted listing vis-a-vis some of the concerns that I mentioned, how would you look at Fractal?
So it's the way the IPO happened. People were not quite comfortable. I did attend the road show, but in that short meeting to understand the company, to get a hang of what exactly it does, what is the AI element in the company, which everybody seems to be talking about as AI globally, etc. All of this remained fairly unanswered, not clear. Probably as time passes, people would get more clarity. But yes, it is certainly India's first listed AI stock, and that would keep interest going in this company. As time passes, when more clarity about it emerges, this could become a stock to watch out for. Remember, it's a large cap company, and you have marquee names. But with such a large OFS portion, one is not quite sure whether it's an exit that the company has given by its listing or it's an investment opportunity.
That's the key question, and perhaps that's something that you need to focus on. Wait for some time, look at the quarterly earnings, see the consistent performance, and then probably look at it, because the long-term aspects still look positive, vis-a-vis the current volatility that we are seeing. So give it some time. Of course, the first AI-listed company. Today is a knee-jerk, of course, but we will get to see how things pan out in trade. The other key aspect that we need to focus on is on RBI's changing of the lending norms for the capital market intermediaries starting April 1st of 2026. And of course, the revised framework will change how banks structure funding lines to brokers, clearing members and other security firms, particularly those relying on the short-term credit for settlement obligations, for margin funding, for market making activities as well. These changes, of course, come into effect 1st of April of 2026, and of course, the full collateral backing, which is now mandatory. That's the key aspect a lot of people are focusing on. Banks will have to extend credit facilities to CMI strictly on fully secured basis. They must value collateral in line with the prescribed norms. For instance, banks must apply a 40% haircut on the listed equity shares, 15% haircut on AAA rated debt securities, 25% haircut on sovereign gold bonds, 15 to 25% haircut on commercial paper. Help us understand a little bit for our general audience. Arunji, what does this really mean? Why has the RBI changed such rules?
So, Sakshi, the underlying principle for all of these measures is that they don't want a bubble and a cascading effect to hit the markets at any given point of time, as we see volatility, valuations undergoing sea changes. NBFCs are also governed by tough lending conditions. Banks are not allowed to lend indiscriminately to capital market exposure. So looking at all of this, the fact that the broker was one unregulated entity insofar as lending was concerned to the market and market players, RBI has laid out these norms. What's also very important is they have given you a 2-month head start to get your act together and follow these norms. I believe what they have done is in the interest of capital markets in a medium to long-term approach. There could be short-term pain, but with a 45-day notice, it's good enough to fall in line. Having 100% collateral, bank guarantees to be regulated, etc., I believe is going to make the market a better place, and sudden market upswings and downswings will not affect the liquidity that we associate the market with.
Okay, and how should one be really viewing these capital market stocks, all of them which have taken a massive hit today? About 10% of losses is what we've seen across the board. Angel One, Groww, these were looked at as young companies, those betting big on the Indian stock markets, looking at depth, capturing a lot of young investors, and therefore their share in, the capital markets exposure. What exactly would you see here? BSE, Angel One shares have all fallen up to 10% after these tightening of the norms.
So the fact that these shares have fallen clearly means that the market has understood that there was a soft spot which these broking companies were enjoying, which has been tightened. Therefore, this fall. Does it mean that business would get impacted? To a certain extent, yes. But as long as you're well capitalized, as long as you're not taking undue risk in doing your business, there is no problem. Lending is going to become a little tougher because you'll have to keep your capital adequacy norms fully in place to be able to lend. There is a possibility that interest rates, margins would rise post 1st of April, but to keep the market sanctity, you need to take tough measures whenever there is no crisis, so that a crisis doesn't happen.
Absolutely. So what is the impact on volumes, on margins, on the bottom line for these companies that you anticipate right now?
So there would be some sort of unwinding of positions in this 45-day period for people, from people who have taken margin funding, etc., so that they fall in line. Post 1st April, people would be following the new rules and lending or borrowing accordingly. So shorter term, there would be some unwinding of positions, but in the longer term, I don't think it's going to make any significant difference. It would be business as usual.
And for these companies like Groww, Angel One, do you anticipate where MTF book is scaling up aggressively, will they need to now tap capital markets as they expand rather than relying on the banks because of these stringent norms?
Well, banks were always cagey in lending to the broking community because they had a lot of restrictions. And if you went to a bank as an individual customer also, there were restrictions. So similar restrictions applied to a bank when lending to a broking company or lending to an investor. So it's not the banks who are financing the community, it was more of the NBFCs which were doing. So with this, NBFCs also have to tighten their exposure to the industry, and it would only be done by taking these new margins and haircuts in place.
Okay, fair point. So we'll have to wait and watch to see what are the options that such companies are, look at this point in time. Of course, there will be some hit in the near term, but one has to definitely look at some of the other aspects as well. Should one still look at exchanges? Are exchanges still better off than the broking companies at this point in time? How should one be really, if somebody is big on capital market stocks right now, how should one be looking at the opportunity?
So, so from the stock exchange entire rigmarole, if we talk, we've discussed the broking part. As far as the clients or traders or investors are concerned, the high beta investors would have margins in place if want to continue their volumes. Let's come to stock exchanges. In the shorter term, you could see a marginal dip in volumes as unwinding happens, but in the medium to long term, it would sort of normalize once again as people get used to the new margins or the new rules that have followed. There is no two way about it. Either you follow it or you don't use the system. That's it. So short term, yes, some impact. Beyond, I think things should be back.
Okay, got that. Let's also focus on the Mega AI Impact Summit as it begins today. Arunji, I want to understand from you these 5 days of focus on, of course, the biggest voices from global leaders who are descending on India to now the conversation revolving around how AI is being, or how India is being seen as the next AI hub. How would you really look at the conversations, the importance of this summit over the next 5 days? How does it really change the world around? And for an average retail investor, what should they know?
So, Sakshi, let me make an honest admission. My knowledge of AI is not the best, and I'm not an expert on this subject to talk much about it. I am as much a student for this 5-day event as maybe anybody else. What I do understand and what I do look forward to is learning how it can be used by a common man, by a layman, because it is that person who needs to benefit the most. If you have a handful of people sitting in a room benefiting from AI, if you can have the masses what AI has a goal of years for this day event, and I hope I can get something takeaways from this event.
Let me also now go across to my colleague Aryan, who's been tracking a lot of tech stories for BT website and now is on the ground at the Mega 5-Day AI Impact Summit as it begins today, with all the expectations of major investment announcements in data centers and emerging tech infrastructure as well. Global AI leaders including Sundar Pichai, Sam Altman, setting to, of course, hit the headlines with all their conversations, bringing together policymakers, financiers, startups, and even tech innovators all under one roof. Aryan, give us an understanding of how the mood is building up on day one of this Mega AI Summit. What do we expect today? Aryan, can you hear me? Give us an understanding of what are you looking at as far as day one.
Yes, hi Sakshi, I can see you. I can see you. Yes, we are here at the India AI Impact Summit at the Bharat Mandapam. Let me just show you around here. There are hundreds and thousands of people already registering inside. There's a lot more security inside. So once we go in, we'll show you much better visuals here. There are hundreds of world leaders showing up here. There is a lot of excitement in the crowd, and we are going to bring you visuals very, very soon. Where we've got big brands like HCL, like Sarvam, like TCS. All of these brands are going to show up here today and show their latest innovation for the AI world very, very soon. This is just one of the gates where people are registering and entering. When we go to the other side of the Bharat Mandapam, where there's gate number 4 and gate number 1, there are literally lines worth thousands of people standing and waiting to get an entry into the world of AI.
All right, Aryan, all the very best to you. Keep getting us all the buzzing action once you get an entry inside. Give us an understanding of how the brands have set up their stalls. What are, the buzzing actions looking like? We will, of course, keep coming back to you for all the live action from the AI Summit as well. All right, let's actually look at AI now as the central theme, viewers, that everybody is focusing on, especially business today is going to be clearly focusing on that as well. India's 5-day mega AI summit begins today with expectations of major investment announcements on the sidelines of the India AI Impact Summit 2026. The spotlight will be on inclusive innovation. On February 17th, 2 key sessions are going to be taking center stage at the India AI Impact Summit 2026, the Tata AI Sakhi Immersion Program and the Tata Bharat Yuva Hackathon. Remember, the Tata AI Sakhi Immersion Program aims to empower rural women through hands-on AI learning and the real-world skill building. Designed for women entrepreneurs, artisans, community leaders, this initiative definitely is looking to help participants understand how artificial intelligence can boost productivity, enable self-reliance, and unlock new business opportunities at large. Former Union Minister Smriti Irani will be the chief guest at this event. Another key highlight is the Tata Bharat Yuva Hackathon, a national-scale initiative encouraging youths to build AI-powered solutions for real-world challenges by removing the language and coding barriers. Through the voice-first multilingual AI tools, this hackathon definitely aims to demonstrate innovation across sectors like healthcare, education, agriculture, and civic development as well. Remember, your favorite channel, Business Today, is the media partner for both these initiatives, underscoring a shared commitment to making AI more accessible, inclusive, and future-ready for India. Alright viewers, we'll wrap it up on that note. Thank you so much for being with us on What's Hot. Thank you so much Arunji for guiding us through the various themes and the buzzing action on D Street. Remember, AI is going to be taking center stage over the next 5 days, and we at Business Today Television will be showcasing everything that you need to know from the India AI Impact Summit 2026.
The Tata Group aspires to unlock the next million digital entrepreneurs for the AI era in India. Most of India's demographic dividend, that is almost 62% of undergraduates, are not engineers, and only 10 to 12% of India is fluent in English. AI provides us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reduce barriers of language, training, and prior coding exposure, and to spark interest in software creation and entrepreneurship at scale in India. None of these participants have ever written code in their lives. And we are going to make them ideate and build apps with AI. And not just any AI, AI that works in Indian languages. On Feb 17th, 2026 at the India AI Impact Summit.
हम अक्सर शहरों में एआई की बातें करते हैं, पर सवाल ये है, ग्रामीण भारत की महिलाओं के लिए एआई का मतलब क्या है? एआई सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं, एक अवसर है। बेहतर फैसले, मजबूत कारोबार और नई पहुंच, डिजाइन, कहानी और बाजार तक। और इसी मकसद के साथ टाटा ग्रुप एआई को इंक्लूसिव और एक्सेसिबल बनाने की दिशा में एक बड़ा कदम उठा रहा है। टाटा ग्रुप ला रहा है टाटा एआई सखी इमर्शन प्रोग्राम, ग्रामीण महिलाओं के लिए एआई लिटरेसी को इंडिया स्केल पर ले जाने की कोशिश।
ஓகே, எங்கள் பிஸ்னஸ்க்கு நானே நீ டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நோ அதர் அவுட் சோர்ஸில் தான் நான் க்ரியேட் பண்ண தேவையில்லை. எனக்கு இது தேவை, எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் வந்து இஷ்யூ வரும், நான் இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஆர்டர்ஸ் இப்படி எடுக்கலாம், பில்ஸ் இப்படி டேலி பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி நானே க்ரியேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
ஒரு ஆப் க்ரியேட் பண்ணுறதுக்கே 1 இயர் அப் டு ஆகும். அந்த மாதிரிலாம் சொல்லப்போ 1 ஹாரில் எப்படி வந்து ஆப் க்ரியேட் பண்ண முடியும் ஈஸியாக அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எங்களுக்கு ஒரு சிம்பிளிஃபை பண்ணி நிறைய டீச் பண்ணாங்க. அதை வச்சு அந்த ஹிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நாங்கள் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ஒரு டாபிக் சூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமை நாங்களே எப்படி சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் கற்றுக்கிட்டு